I cheated too. I cheated on my diet. They were that good. 12 years old, and look at the root canal. Look at the root canal. Huge lucency here, here. Tooth number 19. I clamped number 18. That gives me plenty of room here to work on tooth number 19. Single cone obturation. Look at that. The whole gutta-percha cone just came out and there was tons of decay. Look at that. Look at the color of the gutta-percha. Perfect, thank you. Look at that. This gutta-percha just came out with my Endo Explorer. I just pulled it out with my Endo Explorer. And that's a missed distal lingual canal right there. Right there, missed distal lingual canal. You can see the gutta-percha in the distal buccal, and that was a missed distal lingual canal that we just found right there. And that's the mesial. So the apex locator was giving me this reading. The apex locator for the distal canal was telling me that my working length was 15, and it just didn't make sense, of course. So we took a PA, and this is a number 15 millimeters in. That's what the apex locator was telling us, but of course it was short, so we went ahead and look at that. I had to bend this was a number 25 file. I had to bend number 25 to accommodate the apical curvature of that distal canal there. And this was at 18, and as you can see, 18 is almost perfect. So mesials were 20 millimeters, and distal was 18 from my reference point. My reference point for the mesial was the mesio-buccal cusp, and for the distal was all right, so we are done with the root canal, the mesials. We obturated with gutta-percha, the distal, MTA plug, and we're done. Now we're doing the permanent restoration. This 12-year-old special needs patient was referred to me for endodontic retreatment of tooth number 19. According to his mother, he had developed a toothache and a few months ago, and mom had taken him to his dentist, and his dentist told them, mom and dad told them that they needed to go find an endodontist who could sedate this patient, sedate their son, and do a root canal. The tooth needed a root canal. And mom said it took a while, but she was finally able to find an endodontist who said that her son did not need to be sedated, and the root canal could be done. The root canal could be done without sedation. And mom said, okay, that's great. So according to patient's mother, an endodontist did this root canal a few months ago. Now, mom says a few weeks ago, she noticed that her son was complaining that the tooth was hurting him. And mom says that she looked into her son's mouth, and this is what she saw. Take a look here. A sinus tract. She called it a pimple, a blister, and that's the tooth here. Apparently, they also did the permanent buildup here. This work is only a few months old, and take a look already. So this is what she saw. This is what we saw. This is the photo that we took. So as you can see, a sinus tract on the buccal side of tooth number 19. So mom says she was very upset because they had just done, an endodontist had just done this root canal a few months prior. So she calls that office, and she claims that she was told that that endodontist did not redo root canals, and they needed to go find another endodontist who would redo this root canal, and that's it. They said that's all. Mom says that they told her this endodontist does not redo root canals, and you need to go find yourself another endodontist. And mom says, and she panicked, she freaked out, she didn't want her son to suffer. Her son had a toothache and suffer, so she started calling around and going from office to office. And finally, there was an office who said, we know an endodontist who can sedate your son and redo this root canal. Hence, they found us, they came to us. And this is what we saw. And take a look here. So you can see the permanent buildup. Look at this root canal. Apparently, this root canal was done by an endodontist just a few months ago. You can see the large periapical lucency here, another large one right here. And I showed you the buccal sinus tract associated with the tooth. So we discussed all the options with the patient's mother. And of course, she said, "This, we got it. I don't want him to lose this tooth. Please take care of it." And I said, "Okay, we need to sedate him." And mom said, "By all means," because mom said that her son really suffered when the other endodontist attempted to do this root canal, and her son really suffered during that procedure. So she was very happy when I told her that we could sedate him and we could take care of this tooth properly. And that's what we did. So we went ahead and sedated him yesterday and redid this root canal for him. And take a look. And here's the post-op. Can you see the difference? So, as you can see, everything went beautifully. The apical diameter of the distal canal turned out to be over 50. So I placed an MTA plug here, followed by gutta percha and sealer. And look, I picked up a couple of laterals with the MTA. Isn't that something? And we also placed a permanent restoration. Here I used composite. This is all composite. As you can see, everything went beautifully, and this patient did wonderfully. And we were able to take care of this patient. I'm optimistic that his symptoms will go away. I'm optimistic that the sinus tract will go away within the next couple of weeks. And I'm optimistic that the bone will regenerate in these areas. And this is another angulation of the tooth after we redid that awful root canal. Again, that's MTA, gutta percha and sealer, and gutta percha here. By the way, there was a middle mesial canal system that this dentist had missed. We picked it up, we located it, and there was a distolingual canal system that this endodontist had missed that we were able to pick up. So this endodontist had missed 2 canal systems here. Now I'm putting the PA radiographs next to each other so you can appreciate what we started with and what we ended up with. This is what the other endodontist had done to this poor child's tooth, and this is what the condition that he left with. Much better, tidier, nicer, definitely a million times cleaner. Everything was done properly, no canals were missed, MTA the right way. The root canal was redone the right way and correctly, properly, without this patient suffering. This is what we started with, and this is what we were able to achieve.